Afternoon. So we've been following various stories throughout the course of the day for you. Let's now give you an update on how those stories are developing or unfolding. We've got our reporters Pule Letshwiti-Jones, Lethiwe Mduli, as well as Nqobile Madlala on the ground. Lethiwe, I'm going to start with you. So Transport Minister Pule Letshwiti-Jones is of course in Pongola today to release that official accident report. What's been the development so far?
Well, Maseko, the minister just arrived here at the accident scene. He's currently taking a walkabout where his team is currently briefing what took place on Friday. As you can see from your visuals, delegation with the transport. We are, of course, waiting for him to release that accident report of what took place here last Friday. 20 people sadly lost their lives when with a bakkie. We ready to receive that briefing right now, where the accident reports will be made public. There are also some questions we do need to report Minister President. I apologize for those shaky visuals. Briefing is about to get underway, so we are getting ready for that.
All right, Lethiwe, I'm going to leave you to put your mic on that particular table so that you can get more details in terms of what's developing with that story. In the meantime, let's go to Pule Letshwiti-Jones. Pule, Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe is signing those power purchase agreements. What's the latest?
Yeah, definitely, Maseko. Minister Mantashe has signed 3 preferred bidders of independent power producers under the 5th bid window of the Renewable Energy Program. He believes that this is the right step in terms of ensuring that this can contribute towards the grid. However, emphasizing that this cannot only happen without the state power, and therefore Eskom has to be one state parastatal which will, in play with the private players, come together and ensure that they can strengthen the generational capacity during this time where we're undergoing such a horrible energy crisis, not only in South Africa but as a global community. But most importantly, he's also made it quite clear, Maseko, that without the state or without Eskom, the IPPs cannot function to their full capacity. But at the very same time, he's also admitted that South Africa finds itself in a crisis in terms of this load shedding, where many are quite upset and businesses are affected on the ground. Maybe perhaps you could just listen to what he had to say about those remarks earlier on in regards to the mood on the ground and how people feel about load shedding.
The worst thing you do when you're a leader is to criticize your predecessors and your successors. Can I tell you the risk of that? I've been a predecessor and a successor in many instances. The problem of comparing yourself with your predecessor or your successor is that you appear to be projecting your own space as clean, and everybody else is not clean. So I get worried when leadership begin to talk about leadership void and deficit. I get worried about that, because leadership that is there, retired, has a responsibility to assist those who are still in leadership. If you criticize them, it's a nice thing to say on a stage, but it's a different issue if we're called upon to assist them.
Right, Nqobile, let's finish up with you. South Africans, of course, growing more and more frustrated as we are on stage 5 power cuts. What are they telling you, businesses and South Africans?
What they've been telling me, having been in Soweto, they were saying to me that crime is rife in the area. One woman was just explaining to us that she woke up to some of the strangers in her house, and already they had even taken out her window, and as well as looking into her furniture. One woman also was explaining to me that her health at this point is her main point of concern. She's talking about the fact that as she's asthmatic, she needs to take pills, but she cannot make food, and at the same time when she is outside and she has to burn the wood, all of that dust affects her chest. So this of course means that they're not only affected economically, but also at the same time they're feeling the impact on a health condition, their health condition as well. So quite a lot of concerns being put out by South Africans there. Let's listen in as they explain further.
I've got asthma, and when the light is off, you can't cook. there's nothing to eat for us. And then the children are not washing. They can't go to school because they are not washing. There's a lot of people got asthma here in Nqobile. They're dying of there's no lights. The machine's not going on, nothing. And then we can't cook, we can't eat. The whole day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, there's no lights here. We haven't got paraffin, we haven't got gas stoves, nothing. The children want to eat, we can't cook. We must make a fire outside for the, what do you call this? Firewood. And we must make fire outside and we cook. And the food is not nice when you cook outside.
Respirators are working with power. So the problem is when the power goes off, the machine is off and they can't breathe on their own. I can tell you about 12 people who have died already in 2 years' time. People that I have to work with personally, myself and David van Wyk from Benchmark Foundations. So those people were affected because of the situation that we are facing now. It's power and everything. But most of them, they can't breathe on their own, so the system that they are using with a respiratory system is helping them to help them breathe. So if they can't breathe on their own when the power is off, that's the problem.
All right, eNCA reporters Pule Letshwiti-Jones, Lethiwe Mduli, as well as Nqobile Madlala. In fact, I'm going to take you